So here I wanted to pass US, India. It's a dummy website, so you don't need to matter. This is maybe, what is that? Australia, and you can mention Canada. So we have test parameter as 4. I'll explain each and every time. Go to runtime setting, run logic, and here it has a features where it provides you can run this particular script for multiple iteration with different test parameter, different test data. So I'm giving allocating as 4. So now, and I'll explain this as well. uh, and now I wanted to run a visa. This is also I'll explain. I don't want to give this thing and save it. And here I have to give some meaningful name, rename the action, JPEG, store, purchase, product. This is the purchase product scenario. We have changed, saved it, and now we have to run for 4 iteration. 4 iteration, like it will simulate 4 different users. Save it and run it. Let us just wait for 4 iteration. If everything is running fine or not, we'll remove this text check. Is waiting in this particular thing because it has to search that particular text check here. So that's the reason it is finding out, and that's the reason we have to do also. This is the proper way, because if that particular order number is not found out in the order page, it's not relevant and not exactly correct script we have done. So only there might be only problem in this particular request itself or this particular page. So So we'll just wait for. See, one thing I wanted to make you notice is, right, this particular iteration only it is running 4 times. It is not going. Whenever I'll show in the result summary, this will run for 1 time, and at last it will run for user end will run for 1 time, and rest this action will have four times. See, launch sign in button, login button is run for 1 time, and but in performance center it will take a different single users. When you put as unique, it will give allocate one users and it will run for one time. So again you saw this, the graph it is telling us for 4 iteration it took only 8.859 milliseconds. It is very quick. So if you hover this, you can see for iteration 1.203, 231, 218, and so this is the ran for 4 iteration. Now it's time to check 4 different number order ID. So first order ID 72309, 72310, 72311, 7312. So 4 different order ID it has created. So four different orders it has created, and even you have to verify by signing in the web page. It's always to good to verify in the web page as well, because in the UI also it should reflect. If I'm getting a proper response, I should not worry about this thing always. So now let me go 72312. What I'll do, control find 72312. It's causing problem to load this particular thing event. That's the reason I was not able to show you. So let me just scroll it very slowly. We are in 23rd 8, so we are in 24 8, 25 8. Again, surely shortly we'll get this. So just scroll down, let it load. See, website is not responding. So many orders. 25. I have to go to 28. So now 26, 27. There are so many orders. That's the reason we are. It's taking much time. Huge order in 27th. Still, we are not able to find out 28. 20, 20, 20, 20. What is the order number we have got? 72. So it is in 58,000. 54. Okay, so 72312, 72312. You got it right. 72311, 72310. Let me just find out every order. 72309, 309 to fourth iteration, 309, 310, 311, and here is 312. So we have verified and we are sure that now the script is working fine for n number of iteration. So now it's time to explain you more about this thing, more about the runtime setting and all. So I think you guys have enjoyed this particular scripting session because you have to work on this thing and you have to understand. So let me just open the runtime setting. I'll describe each and everything. No need to panic. What is their use and what is their purpose? Everything. Run logic. So as now from here you came to know that while changing this particular value, you can run this particular script for multiple iteration. If you give 6, it will run for 6 iteration. If you give 10, it will run for 10 iteration. If you give 1, it will run for 1 iteration. But you cannot give 0. See, when you put 0, it is changing into 1 by default. So again, what is the difference between insert action, insert block, remove, move up, move down, everything I'll explain. So this is the first setting. Run logic. Okay, let's continue with this topic. Run logic, save. This is, as you know, in the runtime setting, this is the first setting we observe in this particular runtime setting. This is the first category of runtime setting. First category, first general category under runtime settings. Okay, run logic helps to implement the sequence of action defined in the script. The sequence. Okay, it helps to implement the sequence of actions in the script. So it has also features to add, remove, move up, comma, move down. It also provide features to add, remove, move up and move down of any action. So which you can see in this particular thing, insert action, insert a block. So we can insert a action or a block. Let me just show you while adding this thing. So for now I am removing this thing. Okay, so in the run logic there is no action. Now I wanted to add action, which is this thing. Suppose I want to give up one more action here, create action name and copy jpeg store search. Okay, this is the action I have. Oh, okay. Now when I go to runtime setting, there is this thing. Okay, I can move up this particular thing or move down this particular action. Okay, and even I showed you how can you remove this thing, and I wanted to in run logic I wanted to insert a block. So block is added. Now in this block what all thing I wanted to run. So just remove this thing. I wanted to insert a search. Suppose in this block 0 I wanted to search, and I wanted to add one more insert block where I wanted to do this facility purchase product. So this is block 0, block 1, and even I wanted, if I don't need, I can remove this thing. So block is repeated, and suppose there are two actions and I wanted to run it sequentially, number of iteration. First it will run this thing, and suppose I wanted to move this up and I wanted to, okay, I wanted to, for every iteration this two thing will run each one time, and if I wanted to put it random, so what is the percentage it is allocating. Okay, so now we can give this percentage as 70, this is at 25, and this is as 75. Okay, so 25% time this will run and 75% this logic will run. And first, as I have already told you on this previous one, init will run for the one time, first time, and end will run for the one time, as we can even see in this report as well. Whatever request transaction it is placed in this init, it will run only once. And whatever it is placed in the end, it will run only once. So now again, so we can iterate the actions multiple time. So number of iteration is the first thing. So what happens? Controller will repeat all the actions under run for the given number of iteration. As I have told you, controller will decide whatever iteration value you give. Based on this, it will pick and it will run only which actions which are in the run part, not consider init or end part, only the things which are in the run part. Okay, next we'll see run logic tree. This is the structure of all the actions in the script. There are three defined blocks which are init, run and end. These are the blocks. Let me just show you here. Init, run and end. This is the block. If you add any block, remove it. Okay. Okay, save. And now let us continue with other thing. So I have already mentioned like init and execute only once. Execute only once. And increase in the number of counts and increase in the number of iteration will increase in the number of iteration Suppose an increase in the number of iteration will increase in the number of run block. I'll show you here. Even don't worry this thing. Save it. When we change this iteration to 5, it will show you 5. It is not showing 5 and 5. So what I'll do, instead of this, I'll not sequential. So it is increasing the size to 5. Okay, so I'm adding this thing for your reference as well. So here I'm increasing the value. So an increase in the number of iteration will increase in the number of run block. So it will run for 5 iteration. Rather, it will increase. This will run only 1. So cut Uplatz, save. Okay, you can also add extra block and additional action under this particular predefined run. So you can even add or remove. So as I have already told you, the this blocks run at the beginning, and so some initial business process like enter domain, login page, anything can be added in it. Init block run only once and call vuser underscore init, which is mentioned here is at the function is vuser underscore init and function name. Let me show this thing as well. See vuser underscore init. Many performance testers use this block to define global variable and functions to assign URL parameter on the basis. So, and in the user init, we normally put this particular logout for logout, and in the run logic, we actually put what are the critical business flow which needs to be run multiple iteration. The run. In the run part, what we can put in this block controls the sequence of main business process. Rather, we are putting the login and logout. We put only the main business process which you want to test during the execution. The action of the run blocks are repeated and generated the load on the server. So this is all only thing you are seeing into 5. Whenever I increase the iteration, this run part is only increased because this contains the actual core business flow. So in business flows are independent, then choose run logic under group properties as sequential. See in the if it is independent, then group properties choose sequential and 5, or you can make it to 1. When you make to 1, it is also changed. 5, it will run for 5 iteration. If you find out that if this is independent, like it is not dependent on this particular thing, you can make it to random. Okay. So based on your requirement, you can change this particular group properties. If business flows are independent, if business flows are dependent, then you can choose sequential in the run properties. If business flows are independent, then you can choose random the run properties. The run property if the business flows are set to random, then you can distribute the action according to percentage. I'll show you. I'll give two snapshot here. I'll add, so for your reference it will be very easy. First one, let me just copy this thing. And what is the difference? You can get it when you are set to random. New. Okay. And now. Okay. So here you can see it is distributed into 25% and 75%. It's very clear. So you can even assign the execution percentage to a particular action by selecting a random run. So this is the way when you select random, select this and you can change this particular random percentage. So I'll take a screenshot of this particular also, which will help you. Action properties, file. So random percentile also you can select. For what you have to do, just it's very simple. Just select this and you can change this particular thing. Whenever you this, you can choose the group properties either sequential or random. But whenever you wanted to allocate some percentage to some of the action, just select this and you can change the random percentage. So again, the action can be subdivided into blocks like the figure. Like I'll just tell you, you can make block run either in a sequential or a random manner. Also, the block has a property to run the internal block in the both the ways. So what you can consider is, suppose I am giving an example. How can you put this particular block 1, block 0, block 1, block 2? Let's see. Okay, and you can make it to 100. Okay, and sequential. And now in this particular, I'll just remove this thing. Remove. I'll move up, next block one, move up, next block two. So let's see, you don't assume this way. Just add this particular thing, search in this purchase and in this both, search, purchase. So now again, instead of this, I wanted to run random sequential, sequential, and I can allocate some percentage. So item properties 25, I can give 25 percentage, and now block to 50 percentage. Okay, so it sums into 100 percentage. This is the way also you can make it. I'll just take a screenshot. This is the two way you can make it. So I guess guys, I had totally explained everything, each and every functionality, and definitely you might have understand this particular thing as well. So as of now, I'm just removing this thing. Block one, remove, and I'm considering adding a action which I have actually a product, purchase product, and I am disabling this thing, delete action, purchase product, and I'm saving this thing. If you see that your layout is changed and you wanted to again, don't worry, you can even do this thing, save, view, debug, not debug, layout, reset to default. Yes, it will be adjusted in a default manner. So don't worry, if anything goes changes, directly you can go view, layout, and reset to default. So thanks guys. We'll be continuing with our next thing. We'll be progressing and we'll see a lot of things are there, and you'll learn a lot of things in this particular tutorial as well. So I think I'll take